Hi guys. So if you don't know me, my name is Frances. I'm one of the coaches running the group, and I am also the founder of Team Diamond Dynasty. So I wanted to quickly make a video and touch on a couple of topics that have come up in the group and that we haven't really had a chance to go further in depth with. Usually we do a live call in these groups, but we have a really big training going on right now that's taking up a lot of our time in the evenings. So we weren't able to schedule that in for this week, but I wanted to make sure you guys still got the information regardless. So I'm just going to touch really quickly on a couple of things. I have notes, so if I'm looking weird, it's just because I'm reading them. But I really think it's important, because I'm a coach now. Yeah, I've been here for a year, but I remember that I don't know what's the word, like the uncertainty behind it all when I was first in, researching it and trying to see if it would be a good fit. I wanted to be really careful, and I'm a researcher and I'm somebody who hates to ask questions. I will figure it out on my own because I never trust what other people are telling me. So I'm one of those people. So I like to just put the information out there. I want everybody to know every single detail about what it really is going to mean to them to sign up as a coach, because I don't want any surprises. There's nothing worse for me, at least, than to sign up a coach and then feel like they feel like they were deceived. I absolutely don't want that. So I'm going to talk about these things, even though they may seem a bit confusing, but I still feel like it's really important for you guys to just have the full idea of what you'd be getting yourself into, because coaching could be for everybody, but it's not going to be for everybody. So I just want you to feel like you got all the information. And don't mind me. Just got done working out, so I'm a mess. Anyway, okay, so on the first day of the group, we talked about the 3 vital behaviors. And I absolutely cannot stress enough how important these are. If you are serious about coaching and you think you want to do it and you want to run a successful business and become a 6-figure earner and be able to quit your job or move wherever you want or vacation or I don't know, whatever it is you're aspiring to do with it, the absolute minimum that you have to do every single day are those 3 vital behaviors. And in case you forgot what they are, it is be a product of the product. We absolutely believe in the products that we sell. We are not that company who just tries to sell people things and then, we don't really know about them. We don't use them. Every coach who is a coach, at least on our team, of course, I can't speak for all 250,000 people, but on our team, uses the products and loves them and believes in them. If you don't believe in our products, then you're not meant to be a coach on our team. If you've never tried our products, obviously that's a bit different. But if you have and you love them, perfect. But while you're coaching, you absolutely have to be working out and drinking your Shakeology. And I don't mean that don't miss a single day. I mean that you have to be doing it, because you're going to be talking to people about these programs. You're going to be making suggestions. You're going to need to be inspiring them. And your actions are a lot stronger than your words. So you can post all the time about your workout, but if people never see you or never see you being a product of the product, they're not going to believe it. Your actions are just a lot stronger than your words. So the second one then is to invite, right? Invite. We covered how or what we invite people for. So we invite people to do these accountability groups with us because we want to give them that community. Part of the benefit, I guess it's a pro and a con, is that we're everywhere. I work with customers who don't even live on the same side of the country as me. I actually have customers who are in Canada. So I can't be there with every single one of them. That's the difference between us and a personal trainer. That's one of the main ones, is that we cannot be there with them physically unless they're local to us. So we need to hold them accountable, and that's a way that we can do it. It's also amazing because when you put people into this supportive community, it's amazing the type of changes that they go through, right? We're used to the internet being this really negative place, and there's all this bashing and people talking crap, and it's just all these news stories of people getting killed, and it's just it's overflow. We're oversensitized to these things, or desensitized. I don't know. Whatever. You get what I'm saying. But it's important that we provide this positive community for our customers because in addition to everything they're dealing with on the internet, a lot of times in their life, people aren't supportive. And if you've ever been on a weight loss journey, you've probably noticed that some of the people closest to you are the ones who are least supportive. And that's not anything against you. It's more saying a lot about them. They're just not ready for that change themselves, so they don't accept it. But that's what we're here for. We're here to be their support, their accountability, their friends. I get calls and texts, and I'm constantly in contact with my customers because I want to know what they're going through, because I've been there before. I know what it feels like. Like, I know what it feels like when your husband's not supporting you, or your wife's not supporting you, or you don't want to work out, right? So, like, that's part of what these accountability groups are for, and we want to get people in there. We want to invite people to coach. If I'm working with somebody who absolutely loves the programs, or who is super supportive in the groups, or doing so amazing, I want to invite them to coach because they can help change lives. It's not necessarily to benefit me. It's because I know that they can do what I'm doing, and I know that they can benefit from it, and I know that a million other people can benefit from them doing it as well. And there's such a ripple effect, like for each person I've sponsored as a coach, they've sponsored coaches, and then they sponsor coaches, and it's like we're just spreading this like positivity and love all over the place. And like, no, that's not all it's about, but like, that's what our focus is on. It's not about like, let's just sign up as many people as we can and just like, who cares what happens to them. That's not how our team works. Like, we want to invite people to do things because we want them to be successful, whether it's in coaching, whether it's in doing a challenge group, whether it's anything, that's what we're here for. So the third one then is personal development. And this is actually something that a lot of coaches slack on because unfortunately we like to feel like we don't have time for ourselves because, we're so busy with everyone else. But personal development is absolutely huge in this business because you are carrying the weight of so many other people's problems on your shoulders all the time. And it's really hard to deal with. And there's going to be times when you struggle, and there's going to be times when you do amazing. But your personal development makes a huge difference in how you respond to those struggles. And you'll hear us say all the time that you have to fill your tank in order to help others. It's kind of like a good analogy would be like when you're on an airplane and they're going through the safety things, and they're like, you have to put your oxygen mask on before you can help others put theirs on. That's kind of the same idea in coaching, right? Like, we have to take care of ourselves in order to help others. If you have a negative mindset and you're trying to help somebody else who's going through something bad, it's not going to work out. You're not going to vibe, and it's just not going to work. And it's only going to make it worse for both of you. So personal development is huge. It can be however you want to do it. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a book, a video, an audio tape. I don't really care. It just has to happen. There is a fourth vital behavior. This isn't set by Beachbody, but it's definitely something that you'll hear a lot of coaches say, and that is getting to live events. So Beachbody doesn't require you to host in-home parties or, do anything like that. But they do have these live events that they do every couple months called Super Saturdays, and it can either fall on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, depending on the area you're in. And actually, we have one coming up this week. But they're quarterly events, and they are just incredible. It's like a few hours worth of just information and training and inspirational stories. You get to network and meet other coaches in your area, and just like, you can bring your customers, you can bring your family. It's just a great way to take everything we have going on behind the screen and just making it more personal, because now it's in person. Like when you're online and you're talking to people, like, it's awesome, but you don't have that same connection as when you're really like standing there and you're in the middle of that room and you're hearing these stories. Like, I can't tell you how many times I just started bawling because it's just like, it's so emotional, because you're seeing the effect of what you're doing, and like, I know it's probably kind of hard to understand what I'm trying to say, but that's why those events are so important, because when you go to them, you're going to be like, I get it now. I get what she was saying. But besides those, we also have this huge event in the summer. Last year, it was in June. This year, it's going to be in July, and it's called Summit. If you've ever worked for a corporation before, you've probably at least heard of that term. But it's just a big event that they host. This year, it's in Nashville, and it's just like 4 or 5 days worth of just like craziness. It's like trainings, parties, networking, like, oh my gosh, inspiration. Like, we have motivational speakers come. Last year we had Darren Hardy, who wrote The Compound Effect, and Diana Nyad, I think is her name, the first woman to ever swim from Cuba to Florida. And she came and she told us her story, and it was all about like never giving up. And like, you just leave and you're just like, oh my God, like, this is so incredible. Like, we are not normally surrounded with so much positivity in our life. There's so many outside forces like coming at you all the time. So to be able to put yourself in this super positive place and like these positive situations, it's just coaching goes so much further than just selling challenge packs or signing up customers or signing up coaches. It's so much more than that. It's so multidimensional. I can't even explain to you the impact it would have. But anyway, I'm getting on my soapbox, so I'm going to hop off now because I'm already 10 minutes into this and I haven't even gotten anywhere. Anyway, okay, so I know a lot of people struggle or they fear this whole thing about finding people or getting people to sign up under them, and I absolutely hate those terms. And if you sign up under my team, you will hear me say, don't ever let me hear you say that you're trying to get people to do something, because that's not our motive. We're not trying to convince people to do something they don't want to do. If somebody does not want to do this, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm still going to be there. I'm still going to be their friend. I'm still going to talk to them. When they're ready, I will be ready to help them. But we do have trainings that teach you how to expand your market, right? So like how to expand the people you're working with, who you know, who you can reach, because there are millions of people in this country, right? So like your little circle of friends is just oh my God, it's just like a speck at the top of the iceberg. There are so many people out there. Don't ever for a second think that you don't know enough people. You might not know enough people, but you will. And we will teach you how to do that. And I will say, just as a coach who's been here for a year, I exhausted my warm market, which is the people I know personally, like my friends and family, within the first month. So everything I've done after that point has pretty much been from people I don't know. And actually, most of the coaches or potential coaches who are in here now, that are in here because of me, I don't really know you that well, but that's okay. Like, I'm still here. I'm still ready and willing to help you and to teach you this business and to help you get through this, you know? Like, I don't have to know you to get to know you. So we will cover that. I don't want anybody to fear. You have infinite, like, it's incredible what you can do with social media. And most of us do run our businesses off social media just because of that reason. You know, like, you can reach millions of people off one post. And we will teach you how to do that. So you don't have to fear this whole idea of, well, I don't know a lot of people, or a lot of people I know are already involved with Beachbody, or I don't live in a really like big city. It's irrelevant. I promise you it's irrelevant. And I can say this because I come from a really small town and all of my coaches come from the same small town. Well, not all of them, but most of them. Laura and I, the other coach who's helping me run this group, we both worked at the same bar. So a lot of her coaches were our mutual friends. And I can't look at her and be like, you stole everybody, because I know other people. She knows other people. I can expand who I know. Come on, guys. Like, you can't tell me that the 30 people you talk to all the time are the only people you could ever meet and know. Like, we're going to work on that. So don't even worry about it. Let me see. Talk about you. Okay, so I'm almost done, I promise. I'm sorry. But another big thing I think a lot of new coaches worry about, and that is like trying to fit this persona of who they think a coach is, right? So like when I first started, I was seeing my coach Laura Hemmings in this group, as well as her coach Stephanie Davies, which if any of you guys follow her, you know she's like the most amazing person in the world. And I just felt really like inferior, because I was like, well, I'm not inspirational and I'm not gorgeous like they are, and I'm not like this super like calm and nice and just like always says the right thing person. That's okay. Like, this is all about being you. You don't have to pretend to be a fitness expert if you're not. You don't have to feel like you have to be a certain way if that's not who you are. There are so many different people who do this business, and I cannot stress that to you enough. Being you is key. Whoever you are, whether you are a wife, a husband, a mom, a son, a daughter, it doesn't matter. We have coaches on our team, for instance, who are really heavy into religion. Awesome. That's their thing. They're respectful of those who aren't, and those who aren't are respectful of those who are. We also have another coach on our team. I especially love using her as an example, because she is just like the epitome of being yourself. Like, she does not care at all. She cusses in almost every single post. She talks a lot of crap. She's rude. But that's just who she is. And like, she doesn't do it to be that way to people, but it's just her sense of humor and her personality makes her come off that way. But the people she works with love that about her. Like, she's going to attract people to her that are just like her. Just like for me, I attract people to me who are just like me. And those are the people I want to work with, because that's who I'm going to understand. That's who I'm going to be able to relate to. So you being you is going to help attract people like you to you, and it's going to make your life so much easier. Like when I first started, I tried to be like, I'm this like crazy fit professional person, and I'm not at all, but I felt like that's what I needed it to be, and like I couldn't cuss, and like I couldn't be funny or sarcastic because I wasn't seeing that from my fellow coaches. And people who knew me were just so turned off. They were like, this isn't you at all. You're not being yourself, and it's very discouraging. Like, if that's what this business is about, I want nothing to do with it. And I was like, hold up, guys. Like, I'm still me, I promise. And it's funny now because I talk to friends from a long time ago, and they're like, wow, it's so weird. Like, you're so successful in this business, but you're still you. You're still the same Frances that I went to Denellen High with. I'm like, yeah, like, I'm still me, and I love that. I don't have to, like, pretend to be happy when I'm not. I don't have to pretend to be like this girly girl when I'm not. It's okay, just be you, right? Like, I don't know, just that one really gets to me. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was time commitment and levels of coaches. So if I've ever talked to you about coaching before, I probably talked to you about this a little bit, but time management and commitment of time that you would put towards this business is something that's a big concern for a lot of potential coaches, right? Because we're all busy. And I know we posted that video about like prioritizing and finding time for the things that are important to you. But the reality is, I'm a mom, I'm a student, I'm a wife, I run a business from home. I get it. There is not that much time in a day. I don't care what anybody says to me. But you do learn time management. We have training, we give you schedules, we give you checklists, and honestly, the amount of time that you choose to devote to it is completely up to you. Before I started coaching, I did look into other at-home based businesses like call centers and things like that I had absolutely no desire to do, but they actually required you to commit to a set time frame that you would be available to take calls. Makes sense. They can't just hope you're going to randomly answer. You have to be available. With this, there is no set time commitment. So whatever you choose to do is exactly what you can do. And I think, too, it's important to understand that there are different levels of coaches. So we classify them. And as a sponsoring coach, I would ask you questions to figure out and gauge kind of what kind of a coach you want to be. Do you want to be a discount coach? So somebody who signs up simply to get the discount? That's perfectly fine. As long as I know that, I'll respect that. I won't send you all these emails. I won't tag you in all these posts or put you in all these trainings. Like, if that's all you want, fine. Just let me know. So that would be a level 3 coach is what we classify that as. A level 2 coach is somebody who wants to do it more part-time, right? So maybe you have a full-time job or you're a full-time student and you're only really trying to do this to get a little bit of extra money on the side or to get some accountability for your goals, but you're only going to commit like an hour or 2 a week. Nothing serious. That's a level 2 coach. Again, perfectly fine. This is your business, dude. So whatever you decide to do, it's completely up to you. I'm not here to like harp on you. I'm not your boss. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Perfectly fine. But again, as long as I know that, I can work with you on that. I actually have a notebook where all of my coaches are listed, and I have, what is their why, what is their reason for wanting to do coaching. So when they get discouraged, I can go back to that, as well as what level coach they're going to be. So I can know how to work with them because, it's just important to know. And then the third one is a level 1 coach. And this is somebody like me who gets in and wants to go really hard right from the beginning. Like, this was going to be my full-time career. I didn't have a choice. It was either this or go back to work and put my kids in daycare. So, like, I jumped into this and I had no idea what to do. But, like, I was like, I don't care. Give me my first goal and I'm going to hit it. I'm going to just do it. And those are the people who commit and make this a full-time job. So starting out, we say you should, if you're going to be a level 1 coach, you should set to commit about an hour to an hour and a half a day. But if I'm just being honest with you guys, that's the bare minimum. I would devote probably like 2.5 hours a day to 3. And that meant staying up a lot of nights really late and sacrificing time that I wanted to myself, but I knew I needed to build into my business. But that's what it's going to take to turn this into a really successful business in a short amount of time. And that's what I wanted. That was my decision. So you have the choice. However you want to do this, it is completely up to you. Just make sure you're talking to your upline coach or your sponsoring coach so that they know and they can work with you. I think it's really important to understand that it's okay to be different levels. There's nothing shameful in not wanting to work the business full time. Take it at your own pace. It doesn't mean you won't be super successful in earning six figures, 2 years from now. You might. Or you could do it in a year. It's up to you. So I think that was it. The only other thing I want to touch on, because this is a new policy through Beachbody, if you are an active military or your spouse is in the active military or a veteran or a spouse of a veteran, you are now eligible to not pay the business service fees. So the business service fees are $15.95 per month, and that's the only required fee Beachbody makes you pay. And if you are one of those people, military or veteran, then that fee is waived for you. So that's awesome. If you are one of those people who would qualify for that, there are forms that you have to send in as proof. So make sure you speak to your sponsoring coach first, so we can make sure the process goes smoothly. And then that's it. As far as fees and everything go, Laura's going to touch on that a bit more tonight, but just know that it's all out there. If you have any questions, ask about it, because we'd be happy to answer them for you so that you can feel confident making a decision. But anyway, I've been talking for 20 minutes now. You guys are probably tired of hearing me. So I hope you all have a great night. And please, again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And we apologize because we couldn't do the live call, but it was just, there was no scheduling it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this group, and hopefully we will be welcoming some of you guys to our team. That would be awesome. But I will talk to you guys later.